Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. That is right, I am back. You probably have not noticed because this video literally just begun, so I'm going to point it out for you, but I'm a little bit tanned. Yes, that's right, I'm darker. I have been on holiday. Unfortunately, I was not able to upload a vlog for you because I spent a lot of time at the beach and I really didn't want to risk dropping my camera in the sea. I'm sorry, I just wasn't about to take that chance. So yes, that is why I've been a little bit AWOL for my channel for a little while, but it's okay. I am back, and as you can tell from the title, today I am going to be showing you how to get a very quick, simple, easy, all of those sort of adjectives, summertime, no makeup look. And not one of those typical ones that you see where it's like, oh my god, no makeup, which is basically still apply your same 10 layers of foundation, concealer, contour, highlight, powder, but if you don't put on eyeshadow, people won't think you're wearing makeup. Yeah, this is not going to be one of those videos because we all know. I've actually been wanting to film a video like this for quite a while now, but because our summer has just been so up and down, every time I've been wanting to film it, I've been like, yes, heat, summer's here. And then as soon as I go to film it, it's like, heat's gone, summer's over. So I never really... Oh, I've gone. Okay, I'm back. So I never really know when's a good time, but going on holiday really sealed the deal for me to do this video because I don't know if it's just me. Like, let me know if you do this too. Like, comment down below if you do this as well. But every time I go on holiday, I pack so much makeup because I think, oh my god, I'm on holiday. I've got time to like really experiment and play with makeup. I'm gonna do all this crazy fun stuff. And then you get there and you're like, oh, it's too hot. I really cannot be asked to put on any of this makeup. So literally I pack like a whole suitcase of makeup and then I stress because I'm like, now I have to take all of it out to put in that little plastic bag to go through security, and then I finally get it there and I just don't use it. Hey, I just noticed I'm wearing the same t-shirt I was wearing in my last video. It says, I'm with Michelle, because essentially I am the Beyonce in my own life, so that anyone else that I come across by default just naturally skips Kelly and becomes the Michelle. But anyway, this t-shirt is not ironed and I'm not wearing a bra, so moving swiftly on. So you want to start with a freshly cleansed and moisturized face, obviously, whether you're putting makeup on or not. And the first product I'm going to go in with is the Benefit Porefessional Matte Rescue. This is not the Benefit Porefessional Primer that everyone knows and loves. This is sort of, I would say, like a primer, like skincare and makeup in one, because it sort of comes out like a gel, and you can use it sort of as skincare, like after your moisturizer. You can put this on before you put on your primer. It's going to help keep your face matte and your makeup stay on all day. But then also when you have makeup on, you can then use it sort of like a powder to like blot your face. I've never actually used it like that before because personally I do prefer to use powders, but I've heard that it's really good for that because it's that gel formula. It's not powdery. It's not going to make your face cake up if you layer and layer it. So basically I've just applied that all over my face, and already you can see my face is already looking a little bit more matte because I like that, because you know I'm an oily skin type. Okay, I'm trying to look cute and natural, but I'm not trying to look like an oil slick. So even though we're not actually applying any makeup, one little trick that I found that still helps to keep you look really put together when you're having one of those no makeup days is still applying primer. Whatever sort of primer you normally use. Obviously I use like a mattifying one, but if you want to use more of a glowy one, it gives you that same effect that you would want if you were still wearing makeup without having to actually put the makeup on. So this is the Step 1 Skin Equalizer from Makeup Forever. This is the smoothing one, and normally when I'm applying makeup I would just apply it like down my T-zone, forehead, and on my cheek area to keep me a little bit more matte and smoothed out in that area. So I'm just going to do that the exact same way that I would. And the good thing about using a primer is that because it is still completely clear, you can get away with using it without any makeup because it's not going to show. Next product I'm going to go in with is highlighter. I find that for these sort of no makeup looks, using either a liquid or cream highlighter is going to look better than using a powder highlight because it really sinks into the skin and blends in really nicely and gives you that sort of natural glow. So I'm going to use one of the ColourPop Super Shock cheek highlighters, and the reason I like this one is that it's like a cream gel formula, so even though it goes on creamy and sinks right into the skin, it still sets down so it doesn't make me oily how some liquid highlighters can when I use them by themselves. So I'm just gonna pat that onto my finger. Oh my god, it's so bright. And then just use a clean finger to really blend it in. This shade that I'm using, which is highly wasted, does have more of a pink reflex, so not exactly the most natural colour, but... So the next couple of steps I'm going to talk about are completely optional. The whole thing about this routine is that it's supposed to be completely customizable to you. So just depending on your skin type, your skin needs, and what you want your skin to look like, you can choose what you want to add and what you don't want to add. So obviously, as you can see, my skin is nowhere near perfect, and I was just gonna say, if you do have sort of really dark bags under your eyes or really problematic areas of your skin, you can of course spot conceal if you want to do that. I would probably not recommend using a really light shade under your eye as if you're gonna do your proper highlighting and contouring as you normally would, because if you have no foundation to blend it into, it's just gonna look really stark and quite obvious. So just use a shade that is really close to your skin tone. Just apply a tiny little bit. Or if you have quite a large spot and you don't want to spot conceal it, because sometimes that can draw more attention to it, just use a little bit of like black eyeliner and turn it into a mole. And then after that, depending on sort of how oily your skin is, you can then go and set your face with a very light dusting of translucent powder, or like a coloured powder, sort of like this one. I like this one from Milani. Obviously I need to buy a new one. So using a coloured powder will give you slightly more coverage, say if you have a more uneven skin tone, but using a translucent powder like this is just going to help with oil control. So I'm just taking a light dusting of that RCMA no colour powder. You can see I've got hardly any on my brush, and I'm just sort of gonna dab and swipe it across my face. As you can see, it's not really making a huge difference, but this is just going to make this last a little bit longer throughout the day before I do start to get really oily. Next up is brows, which are very important because obviously they do frame the face. I naturally already have quite thick brows, so I'm literally just going to go in with a tiny little bit of clear brow gel just to sort of comb them out and tidy them up and keep them in place. I wouldn't recommend that you draw on, you know, a really full, thick, defined brow, because as I said before, if you haven't really got anything else on your face, it's going to look very stark and very noticeable. But if you do have very sparse or maybe lightly coloured brows, you could just use a slightly more tinted brow gel or one of those sort of like microfiber ones that add sort of like hair like fibres onto your brows, just make them look a bit more naturally thicker. Next, I'm just taking a little bit of a black pencil eyeliner, and I'm actually just going to apply this to the very top waterline of my eye, because this is going to make my lashes sort of look naturally thicker and my eye look more naturally defined, whereas if I went all the way around on the bottom as well, that would be really obvious. So I don't know if you can sort of see the difference already, this eye with the eyeliner and this one without. Completely forgot to curl my lashes, which is obviously a very important step, as if you're not wearing a big wing or eyeliner or anything like that, you really want your lashes to stand out. Curling them before you put on mascara is going to make such a huge difference. So with these kind of looks, mascara is a time where you can go a little bit more ham, because you really want to sort of amp up the mascara levels, make your eyes look really big and open. But that can be risky, because if you're putting on too much black mascara and it clumps up, it's just going to look really, really obvious and your eyelashes are not going to look that nice. So I like to use one of these. You've probably all seen them before. It's like a mascara primer. It's just like a normal mascara, but it just sort of comes out white. You put that on and then you put your regular mascara over it. A lot of companies do like a 2-in-1 that just come together in like one side's the white one and one side's the black one. L'Oreal does one that I really like. This is the Makeup Forever one, which obviously you don't have to get this one. So I'm just going to apply 2 coats of this and then 1 coat of mascara over the top. I'm going to do it one eye at a time so you can really see the difference. I don't like to put these mascara primers on my bottom lashes though, because I find that it clumps them up really easily and makes them look really big and chunky, and I just personally don't like that look. So now we've got that on, I'm going to go in with one of my favourite mascaras. This is the one by Model Co, and the reason I like this one is it's got one of those spiky silicone brushes that really combs out and separates and lengthens the lashes. Obviously you can use whichever mascara you like. I just like these ones because my lashes are a little bit shit. They're just a little bit short. Don't really know if they want to be curly or straight or what direction they want to go in. And I find this one just really keeps them upright, holds that curl. With using those primers first, you have to be careful because they do get the white everywhere. So I like to take my black mascara and comb the lashes down first before I comb them up, just to make sure that none of the white on the top is showing through and the lashes are completely coated. I'm quickly just cleaning up any mascara that gone onto my eyelid just with a cotton bud, some micellar water, Because that is a dead giveaway with these kind of looks. If you're like, oh my god, I'm wearing no makeup, but we can clearly see all the mascara that's on your eyelid. So you can already see quite a big difference between my natural lashes. This eye does have the eyeliner in the waterline, but as you can see, my lashes, they just sort of, some go down, some go up, some go any which way. And then on this eye, they don't look clumpy, but they're nice and defined. They all sort of go up in the same direction, but they're still quite thin, so it's not like, oh my god, she's just packed on 1,500 layers of mascara. But my eyes, I feel like they just look a bit more open. I look a little bit more awake, which I am most certainly not. So for lips in this kind of look, I like to use the Korean method of doing your lips, where you put the sort of darker colour in the centre and then you fade it out with like a gloss on top, as opposed to the more Western method of using a darker liner around the outside and then a lighter colour in the centre. I think that looks good for really full glam looks, but with this sort of more natural look, it's really obvious. So I'm going to start by using the NYX Epic Ink Lip Dye. This is a lip stain, and the reason I like to use this is because once it's on, it stains your lips, so it stays put, so you don't have to keep reapplying all day, which then helps the illusion that you woke up like this, because people aren't seeing you constantly retouch. So this is a really bright pink shade. It's called Charmer. And these are very pigmented, so you have to be careful with them and move quickly because they do dry down. So I'm just gonna apply that to the center. I'm not doing it any sort of way, I'm just doing it quite messily and sporadically so that, as I say, it looks a little unnatural. And then before it dries too quickly, I'm just gonna take a tissue and blot off the excess because I'm aware that this color is very bright. Over the top, I'm gonna take this pink gloss. This is from Wild About Beauty in the shade Astrid. This gloss is quite pigmented, but I like it because it has a nice colour payoff, and with this you can just sort of tap it out with your finger to sort of get rid of the opacity, whereas with a really clear gloss you can't really build up colour. You know what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to apply this starting in the centre and going out. Sort of smack the lips, blot it with your finger. Like whatever, sort of just whatever you feel like is working. Final dust of setting spray. And you are done. I'm realising on camera that this lip does look really dark, but I swear in person it looks a little bit more subtle and a bit more natural. So my camera's just trying to play me, which I don't appreciate. But anyway guys, that is it. I realise that I don't look that much different than I did at the beginning of the video. And that is the point. I do look a little bit nicer, skin looks a bit glowier, looks a bit smoother, lips look a little bit powderier, so I'm ready to just take on the world, or the grocery store, because this is probably the only place I'm going to be going today. But yeah guys, that was just me sharing a few of my little tips and tricks that I like to use during the hotter summer months where I really cannot be asked to be doing a full face for it to just melt off in 5 minutes. So I hope you found something useful in this video. If you did, then make sure you like this video and comment down below and tell me if any of the tips you're going to be using, if they work out for you, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Because if you don't and you just watch the video and you just leave, that is rude. And I just get really upset. I'm gonna cry about this makeup that I'm supposed to not be wearing, but obviously you know that I'm still technically wearing it, but I just want everyone else to think that I'm not. So the moral of the story is to subscribe to my channel, okay? And I will see you next time.